Former Detroit Police Chief Ike McKinnon was in San Antonio, Texas when this tragedy unfolded. San Antonio about an hour and a half away from Uvalde. He joins us now live this morning. Thank you so much for taking the time out to chat with us today.
Thank you, Edward.
First of all, this is one of the deadliest school shootings that we've seen here in our country. What do you make of this?
It's difficult to make any sense of this whatsoever because it continues. I'm here to do a speech on surviving a violent society. This had been done, prepared for 6 months before this, and so I got here yesterday after the shooting, and I'm part of Catholic Charities USA for this presentation. And most of the people that I'm speaking with, obviously, either know some of the people or are aware of that little community. And last night, my wife and I had dinner with some of the people, and it was just so heart-wrenching to listen to them and others talk about what's going on.
Absolutely. And you mentioned that you were there to speak about surviving in a violent society. How do you do just that? We're parents, we have children that are going to school each and every day, and you can't help but think, what if? Like, what do you do? What advice do you have, and what are you going to say in this speech?
Rod, this is the most difficult of situations because it's our children, and we try and protect them, but also you have this group who they want weapons, and so there's got to be coming to minds of this. And how do we do this? I heard one senator say, "Well, we have to have a police officer in every school." Well, there's 97,000 schools or more in the United States.
Right.
You just imagine thinking about that in terms of that kind of armament. So there's got to be some common sense about how do we really protect our children? What do we do to make sure that they are safe in every way possible?
What do you want to see happen? I mean, we hear talks about mental health. We hear talks about gun laws. What would you like to see happen to prevent or try?
Mental health is a part of it, Evrod, but the reality is that that's only one part of the equation. If we can get someone or the mental health professionals, if we get the politicians, and we get the school personnel, professionals, to come to mind and say, this is what, and I should say also the community, because without the parents, their involvement, it's going to continue to be the way that it is now.
So you'd like to see a lot of those things happening, not just one aspect of all of that. I do want to get into your experience in law enforcement and these reports that it took police, up to an hour to actually go inside and stop this gunman. What do you make of that?
This is what I heard, and of course there's the defense that they're saying they did not want to rush into the building. I don't know for sure if that's accurate in terms of the amount of time that they spent, because the man, what I'm hearing down here is that the man ran into the school, he locked the door and commenced the carnage that he did. I think we have to look at everything in its entirety to see if in fact that was the case, because what do you do when you have X number of children in a building, in a room, and this man is killing people? It's reminiscent of other places that we've seen and what the officers did or did not do.
Ike McKinnon, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Living in a violent society, it's sad to hear our society described as that, but you're giving advice to people on how to deal with that, how to cope, and what advice we can have for parents and children. Thank you so much for talking to us, and
thank you so much.
Wish you and your
Have a great
family
day.
all the best.